Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're tackling something pretty big. It's on everyone's mind, really, educators, students.
Mhm.
How do we actually use artificial intelligence and learning, without it sort of taking over or losing that human touch?
Right. It's a huge question.
So we're taking a deep dive into Western University's brand new Generative AI Teaching Fellows program. Sounds pretty groundbreaking.
Oh, it really is. When we talk about generative AI, we mean AI that can actually create stuff, text, images, code.
Even simulations, right?
Exactly. Complex simulations. And this program, it's not just about using the tech. It's framed as AI being a collaborator.
Collaborator. I like that framing.
Yeah, it's a pivotal initiative. It's actually Western's first ever program quite like this.
First one?
Yep. And it's specifically designed to, well, spark these innovative projects and really boost how AI is used in teaching and learning right across the campus.
Okay.
It kind of sets a precedent, how universities might move from being maybe a bit worried about AI. Understandably.
Actively exploring its potential. It's a shift.
Absolutely. So our mission today is basically to unpack this program, understand what it really means for education's future, and get to know the people driving it.
Right.
You're going to hear about some really specific projects they're developing. Projects designed to get students ready for a world where AI isn't just like an add-on.
It's core, a core competency.
Exactly. And these fellows, 3 professors, different fields, they're starting their 2-year terms July 1st. So it's happening now.
And it's worth mentioning Mark Daley's perspective here. He's Western's chief AI officer.
Okay, what does he say?
He calls AI a general-purpose technology, which is interesting in itself.
Yeah.
And he says, when it's paired with human creativity and determination, it's a powerful enabler of change.
That's more than just tech talk. That's philosophical almost,
Yeah.
about learning work.
Precisely. And our deep dive today is about how these fellows are trying to make that vision a reality, in actual classrooms. Okay, so let's zoom in. The Generative AI Teaching Fellows Program. First for Western, run through their Center for Teaching and Learning.
That's right. And a key voice here is Courtney Hannah Benson. She's the Associate Director of Digital Learning there. And she really highlights that Western is consciously recognizing AI's value, not as something to be scared of necessarily.
Which was the initial reaction in a lot of places.
Totally. But seeing it as a tool to actually promote learning and, importantly, fuel innovation.
Right.
That viewpoint itself is a big deal in higher ed.
Yeah, moving past the fear. And it sounds like they're really leaning in because the center isn't just doing the fellowship. Right?
No, exactly. They're also running their first Gen AI challenge.
Okay.
And it's open quite broadly, students, staff, faculty, even folks in the community.
Wow.
The idea is to get lots of different perspectives, stir up conversations about AI, make sure everyone feels involved in figuring out its role. It's very holistic.
Building an ecosystem, not just launching a program.
You got it. An ecosystem where people feel okay engaging with AI, not just having it happen to them.
Okay, this brings us to the really exciting part. The fellows themselves and their projects. First up, Ganeet Karnik-Paul from the Ivy Business School.
Right.
Her project is about building an agentic AI platform
Right.
for simulated crowdfunding presentations specifically. Now, I got to ask, what is agentic AI? Why is that the next step?
Yeah, that's where it gets really fascinating. Agentic AI is kind of seen as the next level up.
Okay.
Think less like a chatbot that just answers when you ask it something.
Right. Reactive.
Exactly. Think more like a proactive partner, an AI agent that can make decisions, take actions on its own to reach a goal without you needing to nudge it every step of the way.
Autonomous?
Somewhat, yeah. Within defined parameters, obviously. So for Ganeet's project, it means an AI platform that could simulate, say, a potential investor in a crowdfunding pitch.
Oh, interesting.
And it wouldn't just give generic feedback. It could react dynamically, maybe ask tough questions based on the student's pitch, evolve its stance, make it feel more real.
So Nightball's goal is really to make this agentic AI concept less mysterious for students.
Yeah, demystify it.
And build a tool that maybe could be used beyond just business pitches later.
That's the hope, yeah. She mentioned her motivation came partly from using older simulation tools that felt a bit static.
Outdated.
Right. And she saw this chance to bring in AI a way that reflects how managers actually encounter and use it now. It's about both the tech know-how and the strategic thinking.
How to use it effectively.
Exactly, which leads to the impact on students, right?
Yeah, what's the desired outcome there?
Nagpal says she hopes students gain, and I'm quoting roughly here, The confidence to question AI outputs.
Okay, critical thinking. Important.
The curiosity to experiment with AI creatively, and the skills to evaluate its impact on business, on society. And she makes this really strong point. For business students today, AI is not optional. It's a core competency.
Wow, not optional.
Yeah, it's the statement. It means thinking differently about the whole curriculum, really. Not just adding an AI module, but embedding it.
Okay, really fundamental shift. Let's move to the second fellow. Andrews Tawaya, Faculty of Health Sciences. He's developing an AI platform too, but for clinical physical therapy case simulations. What's the big innovation with his project?
The key thing here is how adaptive it's designed to be. It's dynamic.
Okay, how so?
As a student works through a simulated case, the AI adjusts. It changes based on their skill level, where they're strong, where they're struggling, even their learning style.
So tailored learning paths.
Exactly. Imagine a student doing, say, a diagnostic interview with an AI patient.
Okay.
Maybe the AI presents a really rare symptom based on how the student questioned it earlier, something to really push their thinking.
Ah, okay. So it's not just a script.
Not at all. It's that dynamic feedback, that personalized journey that's incredibly valuable in clinical training.
And Tawaya points out the potential for AI to create these rich, realistic scenarios. He mentioned simulating rare or complex cases.
Yeah, things students might genuinely not see during their regular clinical placements.
That's a huge advantage. Exposure without needing the exact right patient at the exact right time.
Absolutely expands their practical experience base. And he's not doing it alone. It's very collaborative. He's working with Mark Daley again, another professor, Dave Walton, a PhD student, a master's student.
Building a team around it.
Right. And while it starts in physical therapy, the vision is definitely broader. Health education in general.
Makes sense. The principles could apply elsewhere.
Totally. And his belief is that with AI as this collaborative partner, students get real-time feedback, they can tackle harder problems together with the AI.
And feel more in charge of their learning.
Exactly. Empowered. Yeah. It's all framed around supporting thoughtful, ethical AI use. The AI is a partner, not, a replacement.
Okay, building that partnership model. That brings us to the third fellow, William Turkle, Faculty of Social Science. His project is different again. 5 open access, customizable teaching modules, preparing students for future work alongside AI. I'm really intrigued by this idea. He talks about wicked problems. What are those?
Yeah, wicked problems. It's a great term. Turkle's focus is on, as he puts it, figuring out how hybrid teams of humans and AIs can solve problems that are maybe too hard for either one alone.
Okay, so AI augmenting humans, not replacing them.
Precisely. That's the core idea. And a wicked problem is basically a complex, messy, societal type problem, like homelessness in a major city, or climate change policy, or tackling systemic inequality, problems where there's no single right answer.
Where the causes are all tangled up.
Exactly. And trying to fix one part might create new issues somewhere else. They're ambiguous, often cross-disciplinary lines.
Got it. Super complex.
So Turkle's modules are designed to give instructors and students techniques to approach these kinds of problems, especially in areas that are more qualitative, less numbers-driven.
And these are open access.
Yep. For anyone at Western or even outside to use. It's about boosting AI literacy and thinking about the ethics of using AI for these complex social issues.
Democratizing the knowledge again.
Right. And Turkle makes another interesting point about learning itself. He talks about AI's potential to help learners get unstuck.
How so?
Well, imagine you're wrestling with a really dense philosophical text or a complicated historical event.
Okay.
And AI can explain it in different ways. It can rephrase, give analogies, repeat patiently, infinitely patiently.
Without getting frustrated like a human tutor might.
Exactly. That kind of personalized, tireless support could really change how students handle difficult learning curves. Less frustration, maybe more persistence.
That sounds incredibly powerful, actually. So these are fantastic ideas. How do they move from concept to actual impact on campus?
Well, the timeline is pretty clear. Year 1 is development, building these tools, refining the modules.
Right.
Year 2 is implementation, getting them into classrooms, seeing how they work in practice.
And it doesn't stop there, does it? They're expected to share their work.
Oh, yeah. Publishing, presenting, but also mentoring.
Yeah.
Helping other faculty and researchers across Western who might be thinking, how could I use AI in my course?
Spreading the knowledge internally.
Creating that ripple effect, building a community of practice around AI in teaching.
And Courtney Hanna Benson, back in the Center for Teaching and Learning, she sees these fellows as what was the word, catalysts.
Yeah, catalysts for innovation. The idea is they'll inspire their colleagues, build up the university's overall ability to handle this digital shift.
Lead the change, not just react to it.
Exactly. And their projects aren't just, standalone things. They'll add to the research, the body of knowledge about how learning is evolving. It's definitely positioned as more than just a few cool tech projects. It's about a systemic shift.
So thinking about all this, what does it actually mean for you, listening right now, and for the future of how we all learn? This deep dive into Western's program, it really feels like a marker, a shift from just using AI tools to genuinely collaborating with AI.
Yeah, it's fundamental. These projects, they aren't just about the tech itself. They're about reshaping how students learn, how they solve problems, how they prepare for a working world where AI is just there, woven in.
Everywhere.
From understanding those autonomous agents in business to those dynamic clinical sims in health, even tackling those wicked problems in social sciences. It paints a picture of AI as this adaptable partner, patient, powerful. It suggests maybe the future isn't about knowing everything yourself,
but knowing how to work with the intelligence systems.
Exactly. Knowing how to collaborate effectively with AI might become the crucial skill.
Which really leaves us with a big question, doesn't it, for all of us? If AI can help students get unstuck, if it can offer that tireless support, if it empowers them to direct their own learning, what does that do to the role of the student? And, maybe even more profoundly, the role of the educator in the years ahead? Are we heading towards a future where the most valuable skill isn't just knowledge recall, but knowing how to learn with AI, how to question it, how to guide it?
It's a fascinating frontier to think about. Truly is.